my name is Alex, and today I'm going to be making my grandmother's sweet and sour cabbage with marrow bones, beef short ribs, cabbage, and sour salt. It's very difficult to find marrow bones lately because it used to be like a peasant food, but now it's bougie. Thank you, Marrow. So I found these, like my fourth store, at Whole Foods, and they were frozen, but they're chopped the way I wanted them. You don't want them cut long way, you want them cut this way so it's easy to scoop out the marrow. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your olive oil and you're going to put a little bit in the pot. You don't want too much because the fat will eventually melt off of the beef and that will help cook in itself. So you're going to turn that on to a high heat, and then you're going to place the beef bones in and you're going to want to brown them. I got these at Dickinson Farms, which is at Chelsea Market, so they're grass-fed. I think they're organic, humanely treated beef. Yeah. It's a lot of beef. So, I'm gonna let that sit. So you want to make sure this gets nice and brown. Nice and even. Aren't they pretty? Meat. So as you can see, the meat is getting nice and brown. And we're going to keep turning it around so that way evenly distributed the brownness. So now that your meat is completely brown, you're going to want to put in tomato sauce. And I probably want about 3 cans. I have a 4th one just in case. Let's see if I can actually open this. Ooh, look at me, so strong. I'm gonna pour it over the meat. And by this time, you're probably gonna lower the temperature to medium. Now this recipe is from my Romanian Jewish heritage. It's been passed down through my maternal side for generations. It's probably over 100 years old, all the way from Romania to Paris and to Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, because for some reason that is where my family ended up after Ellis Island. Who knew? There's a huge Jewish population there. Okay, so you're gonna let that melt down and mix in with the fat, and then you're gonna end up adding in sour salt or citric acid salt. I don't know how to describe it other than it's salty and very acidic, but it goes in here and it's great. And then you also add in sugar, and I like to use raw organic sugar, so that way I'm not using like the white stuff that makes it is not that great for you. So it's better than normal sugar. So now you're going to add in about a can of water. New York City water is the best water, the same. So you'll add that in. You don't want it to be too watery, so you kind of have to eyeball it. But usually 1 can should work. And then, see here, the meat's nicely covered. You're going to lower it to low, so that way it simmers and the meat gets really nice and tender. And then you're going to start sprinkling in some citric acid or sour salt, as I grew up calling it. So, and this is definitely a meal that you have to taste as you go. Some people do prefer it a little on the sweeter side. I like it on the more sour side. And a little bit of the stuff goes a long freaking way. This stuff is intense. So, and then you add some sugar to balance it. One time I opened this up and it was stuck so hard and then it knocked me in the chin and I bit my tongue, and that really hurt. So be careful with these. So I'll add about a couple of these tablespoons. Do one more. And mix it around. And you're going to want to taste it. So let's see if I'm on the right track. Yep, totally on the right track. So now you're gonna want to let this simmer until the meat is nice and tender and you want it like falling off the bone. Then you're gonna add in your cabbage and your marrow bones. So for the time being, we're going to cover this baby up, make sure the temperature's on low, and we'll be back in about 45 minutes. So now that it's been cooking for about 45 minutes to an hour, as you can see, yay, yummy. We're gonna put the bone marrow in. You just place them in. Splashing everywhere. So just make sure it gets covered so that way it cooks evenly. Yeah, there we go. And then you're going to add in your cabbage. So I peel the cabbage, get rid of the outer layers, and I quarter it and I core it. Oops, dropped a piece. And then we're gonna put as much of the cabbage we can in here. It's my favorite part of this meal. I don't know why, but I love cabbage. Poor people food. Or, I mean, peasant food from, like, you know, Romania in the 1900s. Okay, I think I can get all of this in here. Yeah. Shove that right in there. And then put the lid on top. Voila. This will cook for probably another 45 minutes, I'm gonna say. It's a one pot dish, but it takes a long time. And then while this is cooking, you're going to cook your rice. You can use white rice, use whatever rice. I prefer brown just because it's a little healthier. Also, I prefer the Japanese kind, and that's just not because I'm half Japanese. And I also prefer cooking in a rice cooker because I am not going to cook it on a stovetop like a basic person. Get a rice cooker, they're only like 20 bucks at like Rite Aid. Everyone should have one. And then we'll wait. Now it's done, yay! 45 minutes passed by so quickly. Yeah. So now the trick is to plate it. So you take your rice, and then we're going to take some cabbage. Yay, prongs, so much easier. Put some cabbage on here. And then let's find a beef bone. And find a marrow bone somewhere in here. It's like digging for gold sometimes. This may not happen easily. Oh, yay! Score! And marrow bone. And then, you know, like, put some sauce on it over everything.